I'm Dr. Christina Hibbert, and welcome back to 3-Minute Therapy. Last time we talked a little bit about my theory for how to really feel your true worth and value, or what I call the pyramid of self-worth. Today we're going to jump into that pyramid and start talking about the different layers and how we can work through these different things to actually feel that true worth and potential that we all have inside. The first step, or the first stage, or the first layer as we call it, is self-awareness. Now, for our purposes, self-awareness means really letting yourself see all of who you are. See not just the good, or not just the not so good, or not just the really, really not good, but to see all those parts of who you are. And today we're going to talk about some ways to do that. First of all, we need to ask the question, who am I? And that's a question we're going to ask throughout our life over and over again, hopefully, if we're wanting to grow and develop and reach our true potential. And it's something that we will have different answers for as we go throughout life. At some times of our life, we might answer more on the outward, like I am a teenager, I am a young adult, I am tall, I am good at writing, or I'm a runner, or a teacher, or a mother. Sometimes we might answer more inwardly, like I am a loving person, I am thoughtful, I am compassionate, I am caring, those kinds of things. But then we might even at sometimes hopefully get the even deeper answers, such as I am a child of God, I am a spirit, a soul, I am an eternal being, I have divine potential within me. So there are lots of ways to answer that first question of who am I, but it's a very important question for us to ask if we're going to start the process of seeing all of who we are. Next, we want to ask, how am I? And when I talk about how am I mean how am I in the world? How am I in my relationships, in my responsibilities, in my career, in my activities? How am I with other people? What would other people say about you and your strengths and weaknesses? Now, we don't need to listen to all of what they say. They can't define who we are for sure, but the things that people see in us definitely can give us clues to how we are in the world, how we come across, and things that we might be stronger at and things that we might not be so great at. That leads us into the next two things. We need to see our strengths and our weaknesses. Some people are really good at seeing weaknesses, and they can see all the things they do wrong, and we tend to judge ourselves harshly, but that's a really important part of self-awareness, is that we leave the judgment out. Self-awareness is not about self-judgment. There are plenty of other times where we can judge ourselves or give ourselves feedback on how we're doing. Right now, our goal is simply to open our hearts and minds and see everything. So see your weaknesses and look at them as opportunities to become stronger in those ways. In fact, weaknesses, when worked on, can become your greatest strengths. And some of us might have a harder time seeing our strengths. So don't just see all the bad in you, but really start to open your eyes to the good. When people give you a compliment, listen and write it down and think, maybe I am good at that. Maybe I am strong at this. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. And seeing all of these parts of ourselves is all part of self-awareness. Now, there's a lot more we can talk about, and next time we'll talk a little bit about self-acceptance, but I hope you'll join me on my website at drchristinahibbert.com for blog posts and other materials related to this pyramid of self-worth and self-awareness, and join me here next time for 3-Minute Therapy. Bye-bye.